Now the third layer, and it's so nice, simplified into 3 buckets, right? The third layer is extremely common in the last 5 to 6 years after that little virus was walking around. There's like an increased stress overall, and so people would, like the hallmark of this one to me is like hand eczema. And so hand eczema I almost always categorize in this group, but usually these people, they may have never had a skin rash in their life, and they have one. Like they're like, I don't know what happened, but now my hands are breaking out, or I got this going on, or whatever. Typically, this particular type happens after a notably stressful time in life overall. So I just intelligently, uniquely, creatively call it the stress subtype of skin issues. And so this looks like, again, it's very characteristic of eczema. Usually you have more stress right before this presents, and then generally you're going to be an extremely hypersensitive person. Like you might say, I'm reacting to everything, right? Like you can't take anything, like you just end up, and this person, the reason this one is important, and this is probably the most important part, if you start in the wrong place with this person, probably everything gets worse for them. And this is very, very common. This actually had to be, I would say that we really need to up our ante around this over the last 6 years, which people know, like in general, that people have changed in the last 6 years, but we have more big reactions to histamine, et cetera, more hypersensitivities. Like it was essentially a big hit to the, it was a very significant inflammatory hit to the body. And so when we were just sort of getting by, those systems that were a little bit underworked before were getting by. When you add inflammation, it just simply uses up a lot of workers. It uses up a ton of nutrients. And then what was sort of getting by before now really can't get by. And so with those people, you really have to start by supporting all the stress hormone chemistry first. If you go into elimination or something, they're generally like a very depleted person typically. And so they're kind of like, hanging on by a thread in some respect. I'm just, describing it how I see it. They're really, they're high functioning, barely functioning type thing, where they're like, they don't have to, like they're, so that would be the stress subtype. And I think it's just so important that we start in the right place with them, because if we're not supporting calming their stress chemistry and putting out those inflammatory fires, nothing is helpful in that case overall.